In my opinion, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's topped out, and Ethereum dominance looks like it is about to start a big wave to the upside. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the overall market, and then I'm going to be getting into the questions submitted by my VIP members to be answered in a video. Okay, so I strongly recommend that you guys get yourselves over in the VIP because you get all sorts of benefits. And one of them is you get to ask questions specifically for a video. Okay, so I asked the VIP members to submit some questions for a Q&A style video, and a lot of them have, and I'm going to be going over the first few questions from that list. Okay, so obviously it's not just that. You get my buy alerts, you get my sell alerts, voice chats, private live streams, all of that good stuff. So check it out in the description if you are interested. But initially, we're going to talk about the overall market right here because it's very mixed today. It looks like nothing's happening, but in reality, there are some very big things happening when you look specifically at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so we go and look at Bitcoin and Ethereum here. You can see that Ethereum's up 2.4% on the day. Bitcoin is down 1% on the day. Ethereum is up almost 5% on the week, and Bitcoin is down 1.6% on the week. So we're starting to see a little bit of a difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's not just today, right? Because I could just use this and say this is just, a one-off example. But in the last 7 days, we're also starting to see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin. Okay. And maybe this is the beginning of a massive trend difference in the crypto market. We've seen Bitcoin have extremely high dominance all bull run. We've seen Ethereum be very, very lackluster. Maybe now we are starting to get the change that everyone's been waiting for. Okay, and you can see this post here by Mikey Bull. Bitcoin dominance looks toppish. ETH BTC looks bottomed. It's looming. Okay, and I completely and utterly agree with this. You can see the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart here. Looks like it's just on support here. Probably about to start pumping, maybe back to the levels of the previous bull run. Maybe not even that high, okay? It doesn't necessarily even have to go that high. Maybe we just go here, okay? But that is enough to see a massive, massive bull market in the altcoin market, right? And then if you see here, the market Bitcoin dominance here looks like it's at resistance. Maybe it rejects here and starts to trend down. So we're getting some pretty significant signs with the charts. And whilst everyone else right now are sleeping, they're on holiday, they're, ignoring the market, this is actually the time to be locked in. This is actually the time to be making sure you're in the best picks and you're condensing your portfolio, okay? I personally have gotten rid of a lot of the dead wood in my portfolio. I've sold a plethora of projects, which aren't necessarily bad projects, but I just lost some of the conviction I had in them compared to the conviction I had in them maybe 2 months ago or 3 months ago. And you have to make sure that whenever you look at your portfolio, you are confident in it and you have conviction in the plays you're invested in. Too many people in the crypto market have way too many projects and their whole portfolio just becomes completely unmanageable by the time it comes to sell, okay? And they don't have a clue what to sell first, and it's just a big, massive minefield. So I don't recommend that. I recommend keeping your portfolio tight and making sure you've got the best projects at all times. So we're going to go through some of these questions here submitted by my VIP members. So the first one here we have is on Arweave and why it's dropped so much compared to others, knowing it's a strong alt fundamentally, okay? And then thoughts on gaming. I'll get to gaming a little bit later on in the video, but let's first of all talk about Arweave, okay? So we go and look at the Arweave chart. You can see from the high back in December, Arweave has actually dipped around 70%, okay? And if you actually look at the chart, you can see that it's dipped down to what you could say was a consolidation pattern from back here, right? You can see it's dipped down to kind of the lower end of that. So if we look just before Arweave had this massive moon, it consolidated. You can see that very clearly with the chart. It had a consolidation before it had a massive move. And Arweave has simply just come down to the lower end of that. So in my opinion, structurally, it still doesn't look terrible. Like, obviously, it's had a significant correction, but so is the rest of the market. And if you look at the weekly stochastic RSI, it's completely come down and reset. I think it's ready to start making another move to the upside. Like I said, from the December high, it's come down around 70%. There's been a plethora of crypto projects which have come down 70% or more since the December high. Okay, you only have to go and look at something like Virtuals, which was the hottest coin ever a few weeks ago, and it's down 75% from its high a month ago. So a lot of cryptos have come down. Arweave isn't the only one. I guess it's just been sold off, right? And there isn't always a clear reason to that. But one thing I'd say about Arweave is it's a strong fundamental project. The tech is strong, it's decentralized, and it's in the storage niche. It's not the most exciting project, but it is a solid one to have in the storage sector. And another storage project I'm looking at is called Walrus, which is coming out on Sui. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Once it comes out, I'm going to be doing a deep comparison between Arweave and Walrus, and whichever one I think is the best, I'm going to have in my portfolio. But Arweave for me is a solid 10 to maybe even 15x or higher crypto, and it has long-term potential in my eyes. Okay, strong project. So nothing really to worry about in my opinion. Okay, next question we have here is on PEAQ. What are your thoughts going forward in terms of price and what it can do? So I am bullish on PEAQ. In fact, I'm actually considering stacking a lot more of it around this level. So yes, it looks like it's crashed a lot, but if we pull up the chart for PEAQ, again, it's crashed just like every other crypto, around 70 to 80%. This has been a brutal downtrend for altcoins. And if you launched recently, you probably had a massive dump. If you look at something like Supra, okay, I'm sure this has had a massive dump as well. Yeah, down 79%. Basically, any coin that came out around November, December is down 70 or 80% from their all-time highs. So this is not just exclusive to PEAQ or just exclusive to any coin. Pretty much all of them have come down. Now, if I'm looking at the chart for PEAQ, you can see it's broke below all the fib levels pretty much. However, it's come down to what I would say is like the last true level of support, which would be this level here just before we bounced, okay? And it seems to be holding that level. Let's see what happens in the short term. But I would really not be surprised if this is the bottom for PEAQ here and we go and make a move all the way back to all-time highs, especially with the fact that Ethereum looks like it's about to be quite strong. That would be a 315% move just to all-time highs, and I think it will probably go way above that in the bull run. So PEAQ is solid. No reason to sell it. If anything, I would be stacking it because it's a really good layer one focused on deepin. And in my opinion, deepin is one of the most underestimated narratives. We've seen AI agents pump, we've seen memes pump. But I think deepin is arguably better than both of those in terms of its real world applications and its utility and value. So do not underestimate deepin. PEAQ could be one of the strongest deepin projects out there. And talking about deepin, the next question by Sergio is about IO.net, okay? And both PEAQ and IO have recently bled out massively. Again, nothing unique about these two cryptos. Pretty much the whole altcoin market has dumped. And, you know, if you're a fairly new project, if you're a mid-cap project and not in the top 100, you've probably dumped 70 or 80% recently. IO is another very strong deepin project. And out of deepin, I'd say there's 3 must-have projects: Render, IO, and PEAQ. For me, those are the best 3. Arweave as well, if you count that as deepin. But if we go and look at IO.net, how much has this one dumped? Again, it's in that 70 to 80% region that everything has dumped from all-time highs. And I think it's a really strong project. It's on Binance and Coinbase, and it's in that GPU narrative with massive partnerships. And you can see here, it says it's the world's largest decentralized AI computing network. So again, another one I wouldn't be underestimating. Just been beaten up like most cryptos. Everything is the same to me. Okay, so we got an interesting question here about gaming. Will gaming come back? And when and what will the catalyst be for gaming to run? So in terms of gaming catalysts, the main 2 that I'm hearing from people would be the launch of the Guns token and GTA 6. I think both of these are kind of 5 out of 10 catalysts. They're not like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 catalyst, but they're decent. So if GTA 6 had some form of, blockchain integration or just anything similar to NFTs or blockchain gaming, I think that'd be really, really good for the gaming narrative. But I've seen no proof that that's going to be the case. So I'm not going to go and say that that's going to happen when I haven't seen it. As for the guns token, that's another potential catalyst as well. To be honest with gaming, I think it will have a pump when Ethereum moves. And what you realize with gaming is the vast majority of gaming projects are actually built on Ethereum, just like RWA. So I feel like once Ethereum really starts to pump, the rising tide will lift all ships and it will drag gaming up with it and it will drag RWA up with it purely because those are major, major narratives on Ethereum. So in terms of catalysts, I'm not really seeing anything majorly significant, but we don't really need that. All you need is Ethereum to pump, and a lot of the gaming coins will go up with it. Plus, just the fact gaming has been dumped and dumped and dumped so much means you've got a massive dead cat bounce move as well if these projects do start to gain some traction. For example, Heroes of Mavia is just one example of a strong gaming coin which has been completely destroyed. If this just went to all-time highs, it's crazy returns. Okay, let's just calculate it right here. So the all-time high is $10.70, and it's at 28 cents right now. So let's do $10.70 divided by 0.28. Just to all-time highs, it's almost a 40x on Heroes of Mavia. So some people will be playing this just for the dead cat bounce, just back to the highs of February, okay? So it's one of those sectors where just putting in a small amount, I would say, is quite smart. Don't go overboard, but around 3% in gaming, I think is reasonable. And you asked that here, what percentage would you say is reasonable in memes and gaming? I would say around 3% in gaming and maybe 2% or 3% in memes. Both of these should be under 5% of your portfolio, in my opinion, at this point in time. And then your question regarding Kaspa, do you see Kaspa getting on Binance, Coinbase, Robinhood, and Gemini this bull run, as well as smart contracts? So in terms of listings, I think we'll get one of these. I think we'll get probably Binance this bull run. And then next bull run, I think or in the bear market, we'll get Coinbase, Robinhood, and Gemini, potentially. But even if we just get OKX and Binance, as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough. You also forgot to mention Crypto.com. So there's a lot of listings Kaspa actually isn't on. And these will serve as excellent catalysts for the price because Kaspa fundamentally is the best project. It's just the most strong fundamental project in terms of solving the trilemma and being decentralized. But their marketing hasn't been great. But really, all I think we need is Binance. That's the one everyone's waiting for. The others will be a cherry on top. But if we get Binance, I think there's going to be a massive amount of FOMO into Kaspa. And then as for smart contracts, I think they are also set to come out this year, towards the end of the year. So yes, I think that's going to happen. So how much would I hold in memes, AI, and gaming? Probably 3% or so in memes, 3% or so in gaming. And then AI, I would have as probably around 7 to 10%. If you're including Deepin in that, AI should be about 10% of a reasonable portfolio. Because AI is such a broad term right now. It's quite all-encompassing of a lot of different sectors. You've got agents, infrastructure, Deepin, so AI for me should be one of the highest allocated sectors in your portfolio. But the one sector that should always be more than AI, memes, gaming, RWA, and all of that is always layer ones. Layer one chains are the be-all and end-all when it comes to crypto. Like, if you go and look at the top 100, they are pretty much, mostly layer ones and then some memes and stuff like that. And if you go and look at the top 20, even more importantly, they're pretty much all layer ones, okay? Ton, Hedera, Sui, these types of coins, they make up the vast majority of the top 20. And that's for a clear reason, because they are the most important aspect of crypto, okay? Just chains in general are the most important thing in crypto. And I think they should always be the vast majority of your portfolio. For example, in my portfolio, I've got Kaspa, Sui, Tau, Sei, and Bitcoin. Those are the vast majority of my portfolio. Other sectors like gaming, memes, things like that, they're just like 1%, 2%. here and there. I'm not really that bothered about them, in all honesty. And the final question is, how high do you see Fartcoin going? So this is a very speculative one. But in terms of all the memes right now, my two favorites are Fartcoin and SPX 6900. I like Fartcoin because it ties into AI as well. So if AI has another massive increase of the bubble size and it gets even bigger and expands even more, Fartcoin is one which could run alongside AI because of the truth terminal thing. And just the name, it's so hideous, it's so stupid. New people coming into crypto are going to find this one quite funny as opposed to something that's a more complex meme. So I think it will do very well. How high it will go, I don't know. I mean, I don't see it going as high as something like Shiba Inu or Doge from last cycle, but maybe it could go to, 5 to 10 billion, something like that. 10 to 20x, maybe 25x at best. That's what I'd be expecting on Fartcoin. But as always with memes, your price predictions are basically worthless. Like, you might as well just ask a random number generator to give you a price prediction because it's so up in the air. No one truly knows. The most important thing with a meme is to chart it and to know when the meme is going to be dead or when there's some warning signs of the community dying out and the marketing ending. And once you see those signs, you need to get out. I can't express this enough. Once a meme is dead, it is dead. It's done forever. It's very rare that a meme coin dies out and then comes all the way back. Once the team give up on it, once they stop getting listings, once the community give up on it, you can count it as done. It will not come back 99% of the time. So with a coin like Fartcoin, it has a very strong community right now. They're getting listings. It's on the uptrend. The trajectory, the sentiment is on the up. Once you start noticing that it's in the decline and they start stagnating, that is when you get out, okay? It's not as simple as just give a random price prediction and sell at that point, because so many times with memes, they don't even hit your price predictions. So this is the solid one, but as always with memes, I wouldn't have a single meme as more than 1% of your portfolio. This is my highest allocation in the meme sector right now, but it's still less than 1% or so of my portfolio. So it could go to zero tomorrow and I wouldn't be worried. But either way, it is a solid meme. They're getting more listings and the community is very strong with it. And it's just funny. So this would be one of my favorite ones to be stacking right now on the dips. So that wraps it up for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the Q&A style format. Let me know in the comment section down below if you did, and I'll do more of this form of content. And if you are a VIP member, get some more questions over in that video question channel, because when I do this again, I'll go basically from the point where I left off. So all the questions after Fartcoin, I'll address in the next video, or I'll just address them in a VIP only live stream. Okay, whichever one I think is the most appropriate. But if you're not in the VIP already, I strongly recommend it. 24/7 Discord chats. We have voice chats, okay? Quite frequently, I'm going in the voice chats and talking to members, sometimes 4 or 5 times a week. I'm in the voice chats, especially when the market is busy. Sometimes I'm in them every single day, up to 6 or 7 hours in one sitting. I also recommend that you get in the group purely for the buy and sell alerts. We time the market pretty well, and we have a very good track record. Obviously, not every single coin we buy goes and does 100x or goes and does a 10x. But most of the coins we buy end up doing very well in the long run. And my full track record is available for you guys literally on my YouTube channel. You can go back and check. Go back a year ago, go back a year and a half ago, see some of the coins I was talking about and see where they are now, right? A lot of them have done very, very well from the calls. So definitely go and check it out. There is a discount available right now. If you use the code SAVE20 at checkout, you're going to get yourself a discount. This also applies for paying every 3 months or even paying yearly or lifetime. The reason I'm giving this discount is because the market is boring right now and I want to give some people an opportunity to get into a very quality group on a special discount. It won't last long and the prices will be going back up very, very soon. I appreciate you all watching. Have a great rest of your day. Smash a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.